Hey everybody, Jake here. I'm gonna walk you through a basic hardware setup on your audio system. For most of your audio systems, you're gonna have a double stack of subs. These are our main PA, 1 or 2 cable trunks. It's gonna be these guys here. You're gonna have an audio workbox. This is gonna have all your cables and mics and DIs and that kind of stuff. You're gonna have 2 JBL poles. These are what hold the mains on top of the subs. This is all our wireless microphones, input output boxes, and then last you're gonna have your console. Our first step is gonna be to place our speakers. We'll start by placing our sub on the downstage left or downstage right corner of your stage. Once your sub is placed, you're gonna take your JBL pole and it just threads in to the top of the sub. But once you get that threaded all the way in, this silver piece actually has to come out. It's actually what the speaker will sit on top of. And then you're gonna wanna take this as high as you can get it. The higher you are, the more sound can get to the back of the room. For today, I'm gonna keep it short because I'm not very tall. You can grab one of your mains and you're going to get the speaker on the pole in this center hole here. And we got to get our other speaker on top. Really important, you want to make sure you're latching the 2 speakers together. So on both sides, you're going to pull this guy out here to reveal this safety pin. There's a blue button on the back that you press and then you can slide the safety pin out. Sometimes it takes a little bit of wiggling. This arm goes up to the speaker above it. And it's just the same thing in reverse. You press the blue button in, as you slide the safety pin all the way through, you'll see it poke through, and then you snap it out of the view there. You're gonna do that on both sides, on both sets of speakers. Now that we have our speakers placed, we wanna get power. Your sub, generally the power cable is gonna be in the handle. There's 2 different types. This one is an IEC cable. Some of them use PowerCon. Just plugs in here on the back. And then we'll plug into our power source and you'll see a power light come on. For our tops, we're gonna daisy chain these 2 together to reduce the number of plugs. So the bottom speaker will go PowerCon in, and then you plug into your power source. The top speaker will use a PowerCon jumper. So one side will be gray, one side will be blue. The gray side goes into the bottom speaker and that passes power up to the top speaker where we plug into the blue. So the next step is we're gonna go to our wireless rack. First thing we're gonna do is put power on the unit. I'm gonna grab an extension cord, I'm gonna plug it in here on this patch plate on the back. Now we're gonna power this guy on. You're gonna see it warm up and everything's gonna start lighting up. Next thing we're gonna do is get our console placed. All right, now that you've gotten a friend to help you throw your console up on your table at front of house, we're gonna go ahead and open this guy up. So open up the back so we can get to the patch bay here. There should be an IEC cable here, already plugged in. We're gonna just take that to our power source. Your front of house snake should be terminated at video. So this is gonna be where your ProPresenter computer is sitting. We're going to need to jump out of one of the EtherCon cables into the back of this console. So to do that, we've got an EtherCon barrel and an Ethernet cable. We'll go to our snake. And for today, we're just gonna grab channel 1. Barrel goes on to the end of the snake. And then we run our Ethernet cable from here to the back of our console. On the back of the console, you're looking for the S-Link port. It's actually highlighted in white and it's really easy to see. You'll plug in directly to the right there. All right, so before we can connect our snake to our stage boxes, we need to unpack some stuff here. So laid in the back of the wireless rack are gonna be 3 wireless antennas. 2 of them are gonna be for your microphones and 1 of them will be for your ears. There'll be a couple of BNC cables. You're gonna have all of your in-ear packs and then an EtherCon cable down in here with a barrel on the end of it. So I just need to connect the same channel on my snake that I connected to my console, connect to channel 1. While we're here, we can go ahead and connect some of this wireless. You'll have 1 cable that's connected into your IEM racks down at the bottom. This just needs to go to an antenna. They have a little connector on the side, and you'll need to mount that on top of a mic stand, and they just thread right onto the top. And these are directional, so you want to point this towards your stage where your band is going to have their ears. Then you'll just need to repeat that with the other paddles and connect right here for your microphones. The next thing we need to do is run signal to our speakers. So you're going to need 4 longer XLRs and 1 shorter XLR. So 1 really long one to run to the speaker stack and go into the sub, a shorter one, 10 feet or so to jump from the sub to the first main, and then a short guy to go from the first main to the second main. Our outputs are gonna be in the bottom stage box, 7 and 8, and they are labeled out left and out right. So we will connect 1 XLR into output right, run our cable over to our sub, into our input on channel 1. We'll take our next XLR here. We're gonna come out of channel 1. We're gonna go up to our first main, to our input. And then we're gonna take our short cable here, and go from our output, audio out, up to our audio in. So let's go verify that we can make some sound. Now that we've got everything connected, it's safe to turn the console on with the button right here next to the power supply. All right, so now just to verify that we are making sound, I've got my console turned on, master gain up to 0. Things are unmuted. I've got some music just playing from my computer that I plugged into stereo, and I'm gonna verify that I'm hearing things out of my speakers. So I'm gonna walk up. I'm not gonna turn it super loud right now. I'm gonna go put my ear down next to the cone on the sub and the tops and verify that all 3 speakers are making sound, and then on the other side as well. Now we can move on to some of the inputs and the microphones that we need to take care of. Your first step would likely be wireless. So you want to set up all your wireless microphones and your belt packs. We'll link a video below that shows you how to set all that up and sync all that. And then you're going to want to work on your IEMs, which is your in-ear monitors for your band. Same thing, we'll drop a link in the description below. From there, you're going to want to get to your workbox, and you'll start by running subsnakes. This is basically 8 channels in 1 cable. Most of you have 2 of these, and you're going to want to run them from your stage box to under your drum platform. It just saves you a lot of XLR runs. And then from there, you're gonna wanna work with your specific band's input-output list to know what microphones, DIs, and cabling they need where on the stage, and you can run all that back to your stage box or to your subsnake. So from there, once you've wired all of your stuff for your band and line checked and made sure you're getting signal on every line in the right place on the console, you should be good to go and ready to start running sound check. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget, we do have wiring diagrams for all of this. We'll also link those in the description below. And if you need anything else, just call the helpline.